certainly do what the fuck I want. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Ant Money Experience, the podcast unlike no other, the greatest podcast in the world. Welcome back. Took last week off for Independence Day. Also, Cece had her graduation cookout. That young lady is headed off to her college orientation. I gotta take a drive down to Richmond, Virginia, then back to Philly tomorrow to pick the young lad up. But glad to have y'all here with me this evening. What up, Scooty? Just like you saw Scooty do. Scooty Doo is funny, but make sure you comment if you are watching so I know to give you a shout out. If you watch on a replay, also leave a comment. I like to go back and read the comments that the people say because I gotta watch my shows over, create my clips. So I'm reading your comments if you drop a comment. But if you are here right now, you are here starting the unofficial start of the weekend with me, yours truly. I know that them weeks at the holiday be whooping my ass, but it don't hurt. It don't help that work was whooping my ass this week too. But we are here right now, and if we are here right now, and you are here with me watching, you are watching on the most dangerous podcast network in the world, the Death Row Records of this shit, the big exclusive network. If you have a podcast idea, your podcast needs a home, come on over to the winning team. I've been talking to my guy the last 2 weeks, and we cooking up some shit. Make sure you get your exclusive membership because you do not want to miss out on that. We got like 4 shows cooking to say the least. And also, my guy is bringing back the big exclusive podcast. Make sure you watch. It's going to be coming back, and y'all know how that show gets off the rails. Can't wait for it to come back with my guy, Angry OG, Top Flight, and big exclusive himself. But before we go any further, a message from our sponsors. Also, make sure that if you want to be a co-host on the Ain't Money Experience, you inbox me, ladies. You know how to get to the front. Also, if you would like your business, your mixtape, your initiative, anything you got going on, hot spotlight it on the Ain't Money Experience, inbox me and we will make sure to make that happen for my spotlight segment of the show. But with that being said, let's jump into that. If it bleeds, it leads. It's been a moderately light past couple weeks. What up, Cope? But I had the innate ability to find content. So we got one serious subject to get out the way. Producer, bring up my first topic, please. Rest in peace, young Mobile, young Noble, member of the Tupac's group, the Outlaws. Unfortunately, this brother took his life this past weekend. Rest in peace to that brother. You can take that down. I could tell you just from his interviews and stuff like that, he presented himself to be a very strong person because if I'm not mistaken, there's a few people that died out of the Outlaws, but he seemed to be the person that was holding it down. He was there for everybody. Make sure you are checking in on your friends. And I say that to say that I think we all should do a little bit better. It's just so many things happening. Also, with that being said, rest in peace to the individuals that lost their lives in the 2 mass shootings that happened in Philly this past holiday weekend. Unfortunate, these young boys, y'all gotta chill. And speedy recovery to anybody that was injured in those incidents. Now, let's get to the shenanigans. Producer, play my next video.
come outside and it smell like bounce that ass. I thought someone had their shit pointed at an air conditioner. It's ridiculous, y'all mean. I can't imagine what y'all cribs smell like.
Never in my life have I smelled something so bad. It smelled like Dookie and period pads had sex. It smelled like Bagassi. Mayor, do something.
This is Tina's trash. She eat crabs every day. You don't get tired of that shit? It smell like Twizzy. Her and them stink ass young bulls, she got leave trash everywhere. Her crib look no different. This is drawing.
Now, if you have not heard the strike for District 33 in Philadelphia, the largest labor union in Philadelphia, has called a halt to the strike after they came up with a settlement deal, negotiation, whatever you want to call it, with Mayor Sherelle Parker. Philly, it was looking real depressing. It was trash and shit everywhere. This video definitely said what a lot of people was feeling about the incident. It was a lot of drone shots just showing trash lined up and down the street. It's the summertime. Listen, I wasn't pulling up on no fucking blocks. If yeah, that was AI Scooty. I wasn't pulling up on no cookouts this weekend if you had trash lined up on your block. I just wasn't fucking doing it. I don't care. You could be mad all you want. Yeah, Cope, I'm glad you left before that happened too. I mean, that shit, it was just random corners. They had spots set up to dump your trash. You know, Philly, we ignorant. People just dumping their trash on random corners. This one dude, he lived by an open lot. He was like, I already got a problem with rodents. People dumping their trash. Now I got an even bigger problem. Now, the crazy part is them city workers is y'all gonna have to go back and pick that shit up. It ain't looking like that's gonna be fun for y'all next Monday when y'all officially start again. But they fought their fought. They fought their fight. They got a 16% raise over the next 4 years. They weren't happy about it, but they accepted. I dig it. But another subject that was going along with this topic was the treatment of Sherelle Parker. They were saying because she's a black woman, people were disrespecting her. I see two sides of that. The first thing I'll say is I understand why she held out, excuse me, with the strike for so long. Apparently, the teachers union is coming up in September. Ooh, excuse me. Ugh, that one stunk a little bit. But yes, so she has to pay the teachers out. And also next summer, the police union is coming up for their bargain negotiation. Yeah, she got a tough road in front of her. She wasn't trying to pay all them people. But on top of that, the disrespect that she got, people, we gotta stop making everything a race thing. I don't think it was a race problem. I don't think that people were disrespecting her because she's a black woman. People were fucking disrespecting her because it's fucking trash everywhere. It's the middle of the summer. Dead smack in the middle of the summer. I mean, it was days last week where they said the real fill was 110. That's why niggas was mad. Anybody disrespecting you, calling you out your name because the wigs you wear look funny. They was disrespecting you because we got fucking trash everywhere. But glad she did the right thing, gave them people their money, and they could get back to business as usual. With that being said, producer, my next topic, please. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take much for me to laugh. I've laughed at this for 2 weeks. Police are still looking for the smartass who painted a tunnel under the bridge. Now, if you can't tell what happened with this picture, that is a painted road underneath that bridge. And this red, it looks like Nissan smacked into it. Now, if you were not born between the 60s and the 90s, you probably won't get this reference, but that is Roadrunner on the side of that wall. And if you're familiar with the Coyote and Roadrunner, you know that Roadrunner used to do stuff like this to the Coyote. And the pettiness of the individual that took their time to paint this fairly accurate depiction of a road looking like it's going down a tunnel and then put the Roadrunner up to it, you're not even a crumb bum. You're a great individual. I admire the pettiness. I think that's my petty moment of the month. I enjoy it. And when the cops catch that smart ass, listen, don't meet me. That's hilarious. When the cops catch that smart ass, don't arrest that individual. That individual should be given a badge of honor. Give them a key to the city. But with that being said, producer, my next topic, please. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at Eric Brown Jr., another great citizen to just it says Jackson, Mississippi, but I'm gonna say to the world, Craig, the world. It reads, well, first, when I say for the culture, this is what I mean. A 27-year-old man, a 27-year-old Jackson, Mississippi man was arrested over the weekend for hacking into I can't read that county, but County Human Services Department after lost my spot 1 second, and approving all applications for food stamps. After approving the application, he then had cards mailed out to new applicants, and all totaling 2,500 each. Current card holders were also awarded 2,500 credit dollars in credit. His bond was set at 100,000, and he's since bonded out. More on this story tonight at whatever. Take that down. I promise y'all I'm not slow. My computer light is like real dim right now, and y'all know I wear glasses. It ain't a pretty scene right now for anything I gotta read on this computer screen. But shout out to that man. Eric Brown, you are a great individual. I think the culture, especially the individuals in Jackson, Mississippi, give that man a day. I love when somebody can trick the system and get over. He gave them people 5 stacks, and ain't no getting that back off no welfare card. You good sir, or I need a drop for when people do great things like this, because that man will forever be known as Saint Welfare. And the people of Jackson, Mississippi, y'all should thank that man. I know the people of Philadelphia that are watching right now, or a shout out to my homie Cope out there in Michigan, or you know what, fuck it, shout out to Scooty too, out there in Oregon. These people need your help, good brother. The streets need you. But shout out to that. With that being said, producer, my next topic, please. Chuck E. Cheese announced the launch of adult locations across the United States called Chuck's Arcade. Shout out to that. Now, when I see posts like this, my first reaction is to go to the comments. The comments never let you down. The comments for this post says, "So you mean Dave and Buster's?" And Dave and Buster's is definitely adult Chuck E. Cheese. The only difference is kids is allowed there too. But I want to see what adult Chuck E. Cheese would be hitting for, because I mean, if y'all like me, y'all some of your greatest memories was in Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. So imagine what you could do with the same games but upgraded with drinks involved. You might be doing a little bet with your homies there. It sounds like a lit situation. While I'm on the topic, do anybody know what the E in Chuck E. Cheese stand for? Not gonna hold you. As I saw it, I saw the E with the abbreviation mark. I always thought that it was Chuck E. Cheese. I didn't realize the E stood alone. Y'all might call me slow for that. Really don't give a shit what y'all think. But I always thought it was Chuck E. Cheese. I didn't realize it was Chuck E. Cheese. Hmm. The more you know. But how do y'all feel about that? Would y'all be willing to go to one of these Chuck E. Cheese locations? How y'all feel about that? Does that sound like a Friday night? You know what? We ain't going out to get lit tonight. We going to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm gonna emphasize that E for the rest of my life. I just want y'all to know now. But with that being said, producer, my next topic, please. Shout out to the guy, Randy Moss. Randy Moss is expected to return to his full-time role on Sunday NFL Countdown after having to take a leave of absence last season due to this bit due to his battle with cancer. Shout out to that. Randy Moss is one of my all-time favorite receivers. Gave us some great years with the New England Patriots. First ballot Hall of Famer, all-around great guy. Randy Moss, I'll say one thing about him. I love seeing his progression as an adult because Randy Moss was an ignorant mother. Chucky Entertainment Cheeks. You know what? Scooty go to hell. But shout out to Randy Moss. Glad to see he's back in good health. I hate to see us people that I admire go through things like that, but glad he's going to come back. His sports expertise is uncanny, unmatched, and just glad to see my guy is coming back. I swear to God, that's what it stands for. Scooty, I'm not buying it. You're not going to get me with that one. But Hall of Fame game is going to be coming up pretty soon. It has been pretty lame without sports. Haven't started watching baseball yet. I don't really start watching baseball until about August when they start getting in the swing of trying to get to the playoffs. The WNBA, yeah. Shout out to Angel Reese. She also will be gracing one of the special edition covers to NBA 2K26 this next year. Um, Angel Reese catches a lot of shit, and I'm one of them people that throw shit at her. But she definitely turned up last month and is improving her game. Shout out to that. Love to see my black women progressing and doing great things. Why am I slurring and not reading right? Yo would swear I drunk before the show started, but I didn't. Well, Scooty, if you would know, 2K definitely has a WNBA league filter, well, not filter, but game mode on there. So I definitely think it's pretty dope. I always create my daughter and put her in the WNBA and rock out like that. But shout out to that. Also got my guy Shay gracing the regular edition of it, and Carmelo Anthony, one of my favorite players, also will be gracing one of the special edition covers of NBA 2K. Man, I can't wait. We got like another month and a half before sports is really back in the full swing, and I can't wait. But you know how I like to end. If it bleeds, it leads. Producer, play my funny video of the week.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm Shelly. I'm 39, but I don't look your I will say I don't look your typical 39, so I'm proud of that.
Shelly,
Yes.
you look 39. It's okay
Shut
though.
up.
Mr. White, what would be the first meal that you would feed me?
Salad.
Stifler asked everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you, go ahead.
I would give myself a realistic 6.5. Okay.
Oh, wait, I wasn't muted? I'm sorry.
I ain't even gonna lie. You look like you can pick me up. I've been staring at you. You look real strong.
I ain't that strong.
The amount of roasting that happened in that clip was insane. She definitely looked 43. You know, I don't have a problem with people having confidence, but yo, you got to be real with yourself. I was sitting there talking to somebody the other day, and people aren't rude, Scooty. People just be being honest. People is always rude when they think you being honest. No, that man was being honest. First of all, that first young lady, when she said 6.5 and homeboy started laughing, I was right there with him. You got to be honest with yourself. I mean, if a girl leave you for somebody that got more money than you, don't sit there and say, well, he got that I don't got. Nigga got money. If I leave for somebody that look better, don't say, why did you leave? Just say, oh, I'm going to bow down to a player greater than me. E19 line for y'all young whippersnappers. From one rude to another rude. The truth can be rude sometimes. No, the truth is blunt. I like the truth. What Drake say, I know I always want the truth, but it's dangerous. Haha, just coming off with them rapper quotes today. But With that being said, producer, let's jump into that. Damn, I was about to say if it bleeds, it leads. Let's jump into that lounge talk, ladies and gentlemen. Now, shout out to everybody that was tuned into my last episode. Great episode. Got some more fire ones in the tuck before we end the summer. But when I last spoke to y'all, the jury was beginning to deliberate about the Sean Puffy Combs trial. Since the Sean Puffy Combs trial, we found out that out of the 5 counts, 3 of them being for racketeering charges, I believe, RICO law stuff, have you, and 2 of them were for prostitution related offenses. Now, the 3 racketeering charges he beat, but the 2 prostitution charges he did not. Now, producer, I also want to know what the people got to say about that. You could drop that link, producer, because at this point we all know the details of the case. Now, what I will say is that the prosecution did a horrible job in this case. I think that one of the best quotes of all time comes from Denzel Washington in Training Day. It's not what you know, is what you can prove. And they just did not prove to put up a good fight. They did a good job at showing that he's a freak. The man is nasty, very kinky individual. But also, God know what he be doing. Because if God gave me an extreme amount of money, any weird thing I'm gonna think of, I'm gonna do. Now, those rooms would be filled with nothing but women, because that's just my personal preference. With disrespect, if that's not the way you roll, it's just not my cup of tea or a mug of wine, have you. But the only thing they did in this case was prove that Puffy was a freak. I'm not justifying none of the heinous stuff that he did because both sides agreed that he was a piece of shit. He was definitely a domestic abuser. He definitely engaged in some very strange activity, but domestic abuse a crime, but that was not what he was on crime. That's not what he was on trial for. They leaned in way too heavy with Cassie, and I heard something else disturbing. Cassie, while being pregnant and on trial, is also still taking a sedative that's supposed to lean you off of perks. So from all that time that she's been away from Puffy, she is still addicted to perks. That is insane to me. I definitely believe that Puffy is a disgusting individual. And I think for what they accused him of and what he's been charged and convicted for, prostitution, I'm sorry, I don't think it's per se a crime. If you want to indulge in prostitution, have at it. I don't think it should be a crime. Actually, it's the oldest job in the world. But he engaged in it. He wasn't the prostitute. I think the prostitute should be getting more time than the prosecute purchaser. But he is facing at this point up to 20 years in prison. They are holding him without bail, which I also feel is bullshit because listen, y'all didn't convict him on what y'all said he did. That's cool, but listen, free that man, give him time served. He's scheduled to be given his sentencing in October, I believe, like October 6th or the 9th, one of those days. But also, just get that man time served and let him go about the rest of his life. He will never have the potential to make the money that he made before. He'll be able to jump back into something because I mean, he's a businessman. He's never going to completely fold. He's always going to have a backup plan. But listen, don't hold that man because y'all didn't prove your case. That's that bullshit. Now, although I don't agree with the heinous acts he did in regard to the abuse that many people said they went through, I'm not agreeing with The speculation of some of the crimes and possible murders that he may or may not have been involved in. I don't know. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. I don't agree with. I don't even agree with the prostitution. Be honest with me, because I mean, all that money puffy. Why did you have to? But that's neither here nor there. I just want to say, let that man go. Do not give that man any extra time for prostitution. Although it be a statue and a crime, stop trying to get y'all lick back. Y'all didn't do what y'all said y'all was going to do. And I mean, that's it. That's all. I'm not going to say shout out to him. Although I do like when a black man gets over on the court system, because God knows there's enough of us that can't beat the court system. Shout out to his lawyer. That's the second RICO he beat this year. That was the lawyer of Young Thug. And I mean, that man, his rate then went up. I know if I ever get in trouble, I'm going to call him and ask for a little pro bono, because that man definitely knows what he is doing. But just wanted to touch on a couple topics this week. It was kind of a light week, but I had to come back and bless y'all. I took a week off. I know y'all missed the guys, so I had to deliver some fire content for y'all today. Also, like I said, got a couple shows that I'm cooking up. I had a topic that I wanted to bring up today, but I wanted the right person to talk to about this. Give y'all a little preview. I was in a bar a couple weeks ago, and a guy brought up the topic of Love Island. If you guys are like me, you probably started watching it with somebody. If you're a man, I don't think it's a show that men naturally gravitate to, but like the guy said at the bar, either you're a man that likes drama or you're dating somebody that watches the show. Pick the one that you think I am and have at it. But he brought up an interesting topic. The guy said that, let me backtrack a little bit. So a lady was like, you watched that show? She was like, but you in drama, you are engaged and you recently had a baby. So he was like, I mean, I'm not necessarily in drama, but yeah, kind of at the same time. So the young lady was like, but wait, how you in drama if you engaged? And the man said, well, there is going to be a certain amount of drama in every relationship. And that made me start thinking, every relationship is going to have issues. If a relationship doesn't have any issues, one of y'all cheating and not being honest with the other, or not being honest with the other person. But next week for Leon's Talk, I want to have some people call in. I'm gonna have a guest host. I want to say, what are some things that are acceptable issues in a relationship, and what are some things that are too far? So that'll be my next Lounge Talk topic next week. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. Had a short episode, wasn't a lot going on, but I still wanted to bless the streets. Y'all know how I like to end every show. Live every day like it's your last, but make sure you are prepared for tomorrow. God bless and good night.
Everybody out my house, but it's Crip style. Watch how I get about my house, y'all. Get out. Get the fuck up my house, nigga. Get the fuck. Get the fuck. Get the fuck up my house, nigga. Get the fuck up my house, nigga. Nigga, quick, huh? Get the fuck up my house, nigga. Huh?